The Real Deals promo just went live in Madden 24, and I think it takes the cake for giving out some of the wildest cards I've seen in Madden Ultimate Team history. Now, Salsa family, and welcome back to another Madden 24 video. Hope you watching this one are having a wonderful start to your Thursday, and without further ado, let's get it started. Now, this video is going to be divided into 4 separate parts, and let's get started with tip number 1, and the first thing you need to know, which is a free 99 overall player who should be hitting your account today. Now, fellas, if you log into Madden 24 today, you're going to be getting a second April Fool's welcome pack, and inside of that is a BND 99 overall Pat McAfee punter card. Now, as you can see, Pat himself is already my starting punter. He should be your starting punter as well, and boys, there is nothing on this card, there is nothing in the pack that says this guy is downgrading, so I'm honestly expecting this man should stay at a 99 for the rest of the year. He's got great stats, 99 kick accuracy, 97 kick power, and he's a punter. Like, A, Pat McAfee is awesome and one of my favorite punters of all time, and B, he's a gold 99. Put him in as your starter and he'll start for you for the rest of Madden. And also, just wait until that one time you punt the football on 4th and 25. If we even do that, your opponent returns it for almost a touchdown, and then you put Enforcer on Pat McAfee for 0 AP, and he gets a hit stick fumble. As you can see, this card gets Enforcer for 0 AP. Kind of interesting in case someone does break a long one against the big schlong Pat, who can obviously punt that football 80 plus yards. Alrighty, next up, let's get into the Real Deals promo, and we're going to talk about the free welcome pack player and then go over some other tips and tricks you got to know. Now, you would think an outside linebacker is literally the head coder on Madden 24 Ultimate Team because, of course, we got another outside linebacker who is upgradable in this promo. It is Carl Weathers himself. As you guys can see, the man goes up to a 97 overall card for free with 3 tokens. Now, let's talk about the Weatherman himself, Carl Weathers. How can we get this guy up to a 97 overall? Well, you need 3 tokens. 2 of them are going to be inside the Real Deals Field Pass. As you guys can see right here, at level number 5, there's upgrade token number 1, and level number 7 is upgrade token number 2. Now, the third and final token is pretty simple to get as well. Go to your solo challenges, go to the Real Deal solos, and get up to tier reward level 4. That is the equivalent of 70 stars, and that's all 3 tokens. Now, let's kind of transition to tip number 3, which is upgrading this field pass. What do you need to be doing today? Kind of had a voice crack right there. What do you need to do today, though? Now, first things first, I think we're going to want to go through here and get a little bit of progress on some of the sets, because these sets can not only give you XP, but they can also make you coins. Now, in terms of which sets we're going to focus on, I believe the 95 overall Real Deal Fantasy Pack is printing coins. Like, for me personally, I did this and made like 20k, because as you guys can see right here, to get this one done, you need 592 overall players. I was buying these cards at like 13k. As you guys can see, we bought this Burt Reynolds for 13k, found a lot more at around that price. Now, I will say it's difficult to find at that price. Realistically, you're probably buying at like 16 or 17, unless you really have patience to buy at 13. But even at 16 or 17, you're spending less than 100k on the set. You're spending like 85k to do this, and you get a card that sells for 100. So yeah, all you would want to do is go on over to the Real Deals filter it on over by all offense as well as all defense, and again, you're looking at about 18k, 19k even works. At the end of the day, we're not necessarily needing to make coins. If we make coins, that's awesome, but essentially all I'm looking to do is I'm looking to get sets done to get XP. As you guys can see, 18.5 is live right there, and we're going to get a 95 overall player who's going to sell for 100k plus. As you guys can see, these cards are selling for around 100. You could pick one that's selling for 100,000 coins. Roman Reigns just sold at 99 right there, so it's not hard to get about 100k from these players. If you're buying at 18k, you're not really losing any coins, you're not making a ton either, but that's still going to give you progress on the sets, which is what you want to do to get progress in that field pass either way. Now, moving on, once you've done at least one set, boys, we're going to start actually hopping into some games, and before we do that, it is critical you have 2 of these cards in your lineup. As you guys can see, I got Mr. Burt himself as my running back, and then I got my backup Carl Weathers as my backup right outside linebacker. And boys, before you get into any solo challenges, you gotta have 2 players in your lineup, but once you've done so, then let's get into the solo challenges. Let's talk about which ones you want to play, as well as how many of them you even need to play. Now, in terms of how many of them you want to play, I would say getting up to tier number 4 is kind of like your sweet spot. The 95 overall BND player is cool. They're not really even that good cards though, and if you want to get the 70 stars, play all the offensive solos and then skip out on a few defensive ones. You don't need to play every single defensive solo. You can skip out on 4 of them, so pick whichever 4 you think are the most difficult. As you guys can see, didn't play this final solo and then didn't play the Nom de Awesome ones. You can really pick any defensive ones to skip though, because you can skip 4. And again, like I said, the sweet spot is getting up to like 70 stars. That's a number that I think is worth grinding for. That'll give you XP, that'll give you free packs, and that allows you to upgrade Carl Weathers to a 97. Now, once you've done that, you're kind of in a situation where you don't necessarily need to grind anymore if you don't want to. I did grind my stats for my offensive yards, and I might grind them for my sacks as well. We'll see. But once you're in that situation, challenges are knocked out, sets are knocked out, stats will have progress on them, and you're going to be flying through this field pass. I'm already at level number 6 on day 1. You can actually max this out today. If you're looking to max it out, I think the best way and the quickest way to do that is by doing stats, challenges, and sets. I want to say that gets you there. I ran the numbers on that, and that does get you up to level number 9 for the Carl Weathers. That's probably your best bet. Okay, now moving on, let's talk about some special offers you might want to consider, as well as a couple interesting aspects to this promo that are a bit confusing. Now, as you guys can see, there's a Reels Platinum Pack right here. This one looks very, very interesting. This looks like an offer that you should consider. You're going to be getting 580 plus Platinum players, as well as 592 plus overall Reels players. Realistically, you're going to be making at least 280k. I feel like the general rule of thumb when you open up offers in this game is you want to make at least whatever the point price is multiplied by 100. So this right here is 2,800 points. We'd want to make at least 280k, and I think you're probably going to do that, and that definitely makes the Platinum Pack one to consider. Otherwise, don't see anything that's like too amazing in here. Now, like I was saying, let's talk about these cards, because boys, as you guys can see, there's one aspect of this field pass that I was confused by, and the way that this Showtime aspect of this pass works is pretty simple. Now, these Showtime tokens are basically going to allow you to go through and upgrade your Reels players, kind of like how we upgraded our Genki Force players. If you guys remember, with the Genki Force cards, you had to put in tokens to unlock some specific X factors and like rare abilities on the cards. And just looking at the players, I believe Roman Reigns is the best card in here, so I'm going to explain him and explain kind of what this Showtime token's going to do. Now, with the Roman Reigns card right here, if you put in the Showtime tokens into this card, he's basically going to unlock the Unstoppable Force X factor for Roman Reigns. So if we take a look at Roman Reigns right here, we scroll on down to his card and we take a look at his X factors, you can get the Unstoppable Force Showtime 2 X factor. Now, this one is pretty overpowered because after 6 plays of having this card on your football field, on your John Madden football field, Unstoppable Force is going to activate, and it's going to activate for the rest of the game. Now, if you didn't know, Unstoppable Force is an X factor, which basically is going to break through the offensive line every single time in a passing situation. So yeah, these Showtime tokens are worth it. I do believe Roman Reigns is the best one. This feels like the number 1 card in the promo. If you can get the Showtime tokens on him, you have Roman Reigns on one side, you have Matabike on the other side. Matabike starts lighting up, and then after a few plays, Roman Reigns is going to light up. That's a pretty nasty duo, I can't lie. So this is definitely probably my number 1 must-have card. And again, if you're wondering how you can get those tokens, you basically got to go through the field pass and take a look at whatever player you want to get the tokens for, and then complete whatever missions need to be done. Now, obviously, you have to have the player in your lineup to get the missions done as well. So as you guys can see, if we want Roman Reigns, we got to have the 95 plus overall card in our lineup, and there are some kind of annoying missions, like getting 3 sacks in a game with him in the lineup. It's not simple, but it does seem like it's worth it because getting Unstoppable Force for the entirety of the game is something worth grinding for. So once I buy Roman Reigns, who again is my favorite card in here, I don't really see any of these other players having that same value, then we're going to go through and then we're going to grind for those Showtime tokens, and that's something I'd recommend you guys do as well. Once you've kind of interacted with this promo and you've picked up whatever players you want, take a look at their X factors, see if there's one you want, and then get on the grind with the missions. Now, I will say also, I've been hearing that these missions aren't tracking, and I've been hearing they don't work in solo battles. I don't think they're supposed to work in solo battles, but I've also been hearing they're not tracking. So if you're going through and you complete the mission but don't get what you're supposed to, just know that that could be the reason why. As you guys can see in the background right here, we pull an 89 overall Brian Bosworth with the first pull. Man, oh man, I'm gonna say it, the animation is kind of stunning. The animation is pretty gorgeous right here. We also have an 89 plus overall BND player. Let's hope this is Roman Reigns, man. Let's just hope this is like the full Roman Reigns. That way I don't even have to go buy him. EA Sports, give him to me right here. Give him to me right here, EA Sports. I don't think it is, but the animation is just gorgeous. We pull a 92 overall Nnamdi Asomugha, who honestly, we really can't do anything with that. That's gonna do it for me. Hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Hope this gave you a good rundown to the promo, and until next time, I'm out. Love y'all. Peace.